Hi everyone, I'm sitting outside with Marcus in hot sunny Australia. Yesterday we watched the Game Awards, which was in the morning in Australia, and then we spent the day in Brisbane City. We went to Bluey World, didn't we, Marcus? It was really good.
Yeah.
He's very tired because his normal bedtime is 7 p.m.
And I'm really annoyed of you because you won't let me have any cake.
And Marcus wants some cake, some birthday cake, because it was his 7th birthday the other day. But I'm going to give him some cake in a minute after I've done this recording. But anyway, yes, so we spent the day in Brisbane. We went to Bluey World. Marcus and Eris loved it.
And I got myself a lawn dog, which is Bluey's toy, and a pair of Bluey's.
Yeah.
And Daddy got some bandit ears, and my mum got some chili ears, and my sister got some bingo ears.
Yeah. So we took the boat. It was a nice day. Anyway, so we watched the Game Awards in the morning before we went. Quite interesting. Marcus was really happy because what game, Marcus, won Ultimate Game of the Year?
Astrobot.
Astrobot, which me and Marcus absolutely love. We've played so much Astrobot this year. We both think it's a well-deserved winner of Game of the Year. Yes, we love Astrobot.
Hopefully there's an Astrobot 3.
What about Astrobot 2, Marcus?
I love Astrobot 2, but I really...
There is no Astrobot 2.
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
So we've got Astrobot, the normal one, and you've played, and there's a VR one and stuff, but this is the first Astrobot, isn't it?
Yeah. But I really hope there's an Astrobot 3, like a disc, or you can like download it on your your PlayStation.
Yep, so he wants Astrobot 2 and then 3, because he loves the games.
Astrobot 2.
Yeah, but this is different Astrobot. It's a whole new thing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so really happy about Astrobot winning the Game of the Year. And there was a few announcements at the Game Awards that Marcus didn't watch them all, obviously. But the one that I'm kind of most excited for is The Witcher 4 starring Ciri. Now, I've noticed that there's been a little bit of, shall we say, stuff online saying, oh, why is Ciri the main character? Women can't be witches or anything like that. But I thought the trailer was really good. I'm really hoping that it stands up to the quality of The Witcher 3. And I was reminded in the Discord that one of the endings is Ciri becoming a Witcher. Now, some of the things that don't make sense is in the trailer she could take some of those Witcher-specific potions, and people are saying online that she shouldn't be able to take them because those potions would actually kill her, being a female. And the ending of The Witcher 3, she was a Witcher, but she hadn't gone through the trials and she had some other powers, etc. But I think graphically it looks awesome. I did notice on the trailer that at the bottom it said it was running on an unannounced NVIDIA GPU. Which sounds cool, but I think the game is probably about 4 years out anyway, so I think we can wait. I think we're going to be waiting about 4 or 5 years for it to come out, because remember, Cyberpunk got announced early, so. Right, anyway, so back to the Game of the Year awards. I'm just going to rip through these very quickly. So Astrobot, as we mentioned, won Game of the Year. Best Game Direction was also Astrobot. Best Narrative, which I thought was a worthy winner, was Metaphor ReFantazio, and it went up against Final Fantasy Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Hellblade 2 and Silent Hill 2. So Metaphor ReFantazio, I'm about 35 hours into it now. whilst I am here in sunny Australia playing it on the Steam Deck and absolutely loving every single moment of that game. Metaphor ReFantazio also won Best Art Direction. Went up against Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, and a game called Neva. Never heard of that. But anyway, great winner there. Best Score and Music was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I think is a well-deserved winner as well. Went up against Astrobot, Metaphor ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. Final Fantasy VII has always had amazing music, and nothing can beat it. Best Audio Design, the winner for that was Hellblade 2, which went up against Astrobot, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Silent Hill 2. Now, I believe that most likely won the Best Audio Design is when you have your headphones on, you get all the voices coming from all around you, etc. So I'm not surprised about that. I'm going to skip some of these because fucking shit. But Best Ongoing Game was a surprise, actually. The winner for that was Helldivers 2. I probably would have voted myself for Final Fantasy XIV, which was on the list with Fortnite, Diablo 4 and Destiny 2. Marcus would have voted for Fortnite.
And I would have voted for Astrobot too.
But Final Fantasy XIV, I think, is probably the best deserved winner there. Best Independent Game was Balatro, which was a game that I vastly enjoyed over this year. Now available on mobile phone as well as all your systems. But it went up against Animal Well, Laurelie and the Laser Eyes, Neva and UFO 50. I've only heard of Animal Well out of all of those and Balatro, so yeah. Best debut indie game was also Balatro. Best mobile game was Balatro as well. Wow. Best VR game for Frosty was Batman Arkham Shadow. Went up against Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. So some good games there. Best action game, the winner for that was Black Myth Wukong. Went up against Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Space Marine 2. The best action adventure game, the winner for that was Astrobot. Went up against Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Best RPG, now this is a category that was full of bangers. Dragon's Dogma 2, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. The bottom three, amazing games in my opinion, and the winner for that was Metaphor ReFantazio, which is cool. Best fighting game was Tekken 8. Best family game was Astrobot again. Fantastic, and that went up against Princess Peach Showtime, Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and Plucky Squire. Best sim strategy game was Frostpunk 2, which I was a little bit disappointed about because Unicorn Overlord was in that running there, and I would have voted for Unicorn Overlord personally. Best multiplayer game, the winner for that was Helldivers 2, which I'm not surprised about. I did go up against Black Ops 6, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer Space Marine 2.
Super Mario Party.
Yeah. Best adaptation, this is basically TV shows or films from games. And the winner for that, which was no surprise, yes, was Fallout. Went up against Arcane, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider. So there really wasn't much competition for Fallout this year. Most anticipated game was GTA 6. No surprise there. And that's all the winners that I think are relevant. So I guess now we'll get into some of the announcements from the Game Awards. And there were a few surprises. So yeah, there was a lot of announcements. Already talked about The Witcher 4, as I've said. But there was actually a lot of games, and I think I missed quite a few. So I'm just going to run through them just while I sit out here in the humidity. So there's one called Catley. Marcus quite liked the look of this. Looks like you have cats and you help them grow up and you play with them, and it's come into mobile phones and stuff. Next one that looked quite interesting though was called Arad Dungeon Fighter. It looks very much Genshin Impact though to me, where you the anime characters and you're darting around an open world. No release date for that. And then the next game that they showed, Screamer, which looks like a kind of anime racing game. Looks quite interesting. It's not coming out till 2026 though, so not really 100% sure what type of game it is. Looks like a racing game though, but I hate it when they announce games so far in advance, because you're like, well, what is it really? Because it looks like a racing game, anime, but yeah, as I say, they don't really show much. And there was another one called Guitar, which looks like we're actually going to get a new Guitar Hero type game, because it was just a short trailer showing like a Guitar Hero type guitar. So I'm actually quite excited for this, because you know, I miss the Guitar Hero games from the Xbox 360 era, and they've never really made a comeback. Had a really good time on. Oh, the rain's starting to really come down now. So I'm in sunny Australia. It's super hot. It's been like 30 plus degrees every day. But where I'm staying in Brisbane, it's very tropical, so it's been raining quite a bit as well. And I've been bitten to shit by mosquitoes. But anyway, where was I? Yes, I was talking about guitar. So yeah, I miss those Rock Band / Guitar Hero type games. So I'm quite excited for that. And then there was another game called War Mechanic, where it didn't show much. Coming 2025, just a dude driving around like some desolate wasteland, and it looks like you're a mechanic and you fix stuff. I don't know. And then they showed a really cool trailer for Dying Light: The Beast. Really enjoyed the old Dying Light games. I'm sure we've seen. Wow, that is loud. Jesus. I'm going to pause it here and I'll come back when the rain dies down. So yeah, I'm back recording now the next day after getting rained out, sitting outside. As I mentioned a short while, well, it would be a short while ago for you, but this is the next day for me. So I believe I finished up talking about Dying Light: The Beast. Quite an interesting trailer. It looks like you start off being a test subject. But the actual gameplay that they showed, the few snippets, looks like a huge open world. Lots of it in the countryside. Loads of different weapons, like a flamethrower, bow and arrow, pistols, machine guns, etc. And obviously all of that kind of parkour abilities, running over round the buildings, etc. Looks really damn good, man. It looks really damn good. So yeah, Dying Light 2, as I say, they didn't really show off a lot, but what they showed looks absolutely awesome. So yeah, then we had Turok Origins, which is a prequel to the original Turok games, which looks pretty awesome actually. Good third-person gameplay. I remember the original Turok games back on the N64, and everyone absolutely loving them. I was never really into them back then though, but I do think it looks pretty cool, to be fair. So there was no release date though, which was a little bit annoying, but initial gameplay looks pretty cool. Next game that I've got on my list is an unknown. It's not been titled yet, but it's made by the creators of Ico: Shadows of the Colossus, and it's literally just a dude running up a giant robot, and then the head takes off while this wave of stuff comes towards him. Looks quite interesting, but very early trailer, and I guarantee this game won't be out for years. But we'll see. Have high hopes. Next game on my list is something that I think a lot of us are going to be excited for. Elden Ring Night Rain, which is an online multiplayer Elden Ring game. Now, there wasn't a lot of information given about this, but it looked like it might be an MMO, or if it isn't an MMO, it'll be a 4-player co-op Elden Ring game. Graphics look cool. Looks like Elden Ring. Yeah, with big bosses. It looks like I lost my train of thought now. Yeah, but it looks like it's co-op or MMO, big world. Hopefully, it's just four-player co-op game, and that would just be really, really fun to play. I think taking down big bosses together, just exploring the world. So yeah, really looking forward to this game. They did show quite a bit of gameplay actually, where you could ride, you can call in like a bird and fly around. Different areas like a volcano type area, the grassy type areas. Showed some fighting where there's two people fighting like a big dragon, and some other weird bosses in the actual world itself. Different weapons as well, like bow and arrow, sword, shield, daggers. So it looks pretty interesting. There was a section showing you three people fighting some bosses as well. I think that's the most that we've seen on the trailer. Actually, was just three people. So it might be hinting that it's going to be only 3-player co-op. I'm unsure, but again, there's no release date on that. Now, a game that the fighting people like Darren might be excited for is a new Virtua Fighter coming out either next year or later. Now, there hasn't been a Tekken game for donkey's years, and it's actually being made by Ryu Gaguta Studio, which make the Yakuza games. So they've got a very good pedigree. I actually think that this company is now holding up Sega, to be fair. But we didn't really get to see much, well, any gameplay from the trailer, but looks really cool, man. I mean, I used to be a huge fan of the Virtua Fighter games back in the day. So this is something that I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on. Next announced, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is coming next year to everything, even Xbox One and PS4. Funnily enough, it is a side-scrolling platforming Ninja Gaiden game, 16-bit type graphic art style. Looks very Metroidvania, so that's one to keep an eye on. I think it looks pretty interesting. So that's pretty cool. Another little announcement was Clive Rosfield from Final Fantasy 16 is being added to the Tekken 8 roster. Yeah, I don't play Tekken 8, but I think it's pretty cool being a big Final Fantasy fan myself. I'm sure lots of people won't be happy, but yeah, looks cool. Another game announced coming to PC only is a game called Steel Hunters, which basically looks like a mech warrior type game from what they showed in the trailer. Various open world areas, and it looks like a team based kind of 6v6 or something like that. I don't actually know the player count, just kind of one of those team v team mech robot type fighting games. Looks quite interesting. Not really sure how well it's going to hold up, though, to be fair, in the genre. But as I say, graphics look pretty nice. The varied environments look pretty cool. Different mechs look interesting. Different animals and stuff as well, not just the bog standard robots. So PC gamers might be something to keep an eye on. Next announced was Black Frost The Long Dark 2. Now, I never played the Long Dark original, but I know it's a survival game set in the wilderness, and you basically got to make camp and get wood and stuff like that. This one looks to be set with groups of other people. There is a bit of a... It looks like the character's walking towards a city, and there's a bit of fighting going on, etc. And looting old buildings for stuff. Still has that kind of long, dark kind of art style, which is really nice, I think, actually. But I'm actually quite intrigued to see more about this game, because they look like there's quite a few different environments to explore in that one. Now, another game coming is called Thick as Thieves, coming to PC, PS5, Xbox. I really wasn't sure what to think about this, because basically it looks like it's one of those team, player versus player in teams or single people trying to. So basically, you choose a different kind of character class, and then you got to go and rob, say, a bank or some treasure from a vault or a museum or something. But there's other players also trying to steal that same item at the same time. I don't know. It looked a little bit goofy to me, but it could be fun. I'm not gonna say it's shite or anything like that. It just looks a little bit generic to me. I don't know, but we shall see when it comes out. But nah, it wasn't really my cup of tea, but certainly does look quite interesting. Next announced was Outer Worlds 2, made by Obsidian, so obviously it's going to be hitting Game Pass when it comes out. No solid release date on this one. Looks quite interesting. I quite enjoyed the first game, even though it was very linear, just for a good romp. So it's got some silly sense of humour, etc. So, I'll give it a bish bash bosh when it hits the old Game Pass, but yeah, looks interesting. Dungeon and Fighter Arad coming to everything next year, even mobile phones and all your consoles. It looks like a very Genshin Impact type game with the exact art style. I actually think it's made by Hoyoverse as well, actually. So yeah, it's using the exact same art style, but looks cool. I like these type of games anyway, to be honest. So be interested to see what it's like when it comes out. But it'd be cool if your account can switch from mobile to Xbox, because that's how I would want to be playing it. But yeah, looks interesting. Definitely one to look out for. Onimusha, Way of the Sword, coming in 2026 to all systems. It's been a long time since there's been an Onimusha game in my mind. Didn't really show too much in the trailer, to be fair, but you could kind of tell. I mean, I thought it was like a Ninja Gaiden or something, because it had those red orbs that you collect as you're fighting. But as I say, like from what they showed in the trailer, the graphics looked absolutely stunning. Yeah, and towards the end of the trailer, they showed a little bit of gameplay, not loads. It looks very ninja-y, where you got to really use your defending, your blocking. Look like there's some big, gross bosses in it as well. So it's definitely one that looks. I'm looking forward to, because I quite like those type of games. Slay the Spire 2 was announced. Can't really say much about it. It's Slay the Spire. If you've played it, you'll love it. Cards to kill monsters, going through levels. It looks exactly the same as the original game. Even the art style is exactly the same. So there isn't really a lot to say about this, but I'm sure many people will be excited for Slay the Spire 2. I don't think there's a release date on this, though, to be fair. So we're just going to have to wait and see when it comes out. But yeah, looks cool. Slay the Spire 2. Now, Squid Game Unleashed, coming to iOS and Android December 17th. This is a Netflix game, so you have to be subscribed to Netflix to be able to play this. It doesn't look very good to me, but it's interesting to see Netflix getting into the video game space. And obviously there is a season 2 of the show coming out at some point in the near future as well. So I'm not excited. I don't really play mobile games, but it's there. So yeah, Squid Game Unleashed. Mafia: The Old Country, coming out summer next year on PC, PS5, Xbox. Looks so awesome. I'm really excited for this one. Love the old Mafia games. The graphics look absolutely insane, but also it's set in the old country of Italy, and so it looks like an open world experience set in the olden, like the 30s or something. Like you can actually, like those old style cars, etc. Yeah, it looks fantastic. The story looks like a proper Godfather type experience, but in a gorgeous open world. And I think it's going to be like a little bit like Grand Theft Auto by the looks of it, like the old Mafia games as well. They're very much like Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I love it. Very, very serious story by the looks of it. Lots of ups and downs and some good story arcs, etc. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Mafia: The Old Country. It's going to be exciting. Solasta 2 coming to PC. They didn't really show any gameplay of this, but did show some in-engine just kind of footage. It looks a little bit like Baldur's Gate, where you're running around with your three companions, big RPG type game. Looks quite interesting, looks quite beautiful. As I say, it looks like very much a Baldur's Gate clone to me. Has all your different like character types like dwarves and elves, your archers and firefighters and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks interesting. PC only at the moment, but it could come to consoles in the future, I guess. But definitely one I'm going to keep an eye on. Split Fiction coming March the 6th, 2025 to all systems, from the same team that made It Takes Two, which I really enjoyed. Basically, the screen is split and there's two characters. One of the characters is into sci-fi and the other one's into kind of the medieval dark magic, and they get sucked into like this machine. And then you got to work with your friend to get through the game to get out of this kind of VR thing. And one level can be sci-fi, the next can be medieval. The whole game is played in split screen. And the cool thing about this is, if you want to play it online with a friend, only one of you needs to actually own the game. So that's pretty cool. And obviously it can be played couch co-op as well if you have someone at home to play with. It looks like quite an interesting game anyway. I really enjoyed It Takes Two because I really enjoyed the puzzles, and I'm sure this will be the same. So yeah, it looks pretty cool, and I look forward to seeing when this comes out and giving it a bosh. Now, when I first saw this one, I got quite excited, but then I realised it's only coming out to iOS and Android, which is a shame, and that is Game of Thrones, King's Road, which is a shame, man, because it looks pretty awesome. It's got all the characters, like all the actual people from the TV show, like in there. So it's a shame it's not coming to an actual gaming machine, but it's actually something on mobile that might be worth having a quick look at. I quite enjoyed the trailer for this, so definitely one to keep an eye on in the future. One that's got me very excited is Project Century, coming out, well, we don't know, and it's basically the Japanese answer to Grand Theft Auto, set in 1915 Japan. It is an open world Grand Theft Auto-esque type game, with, you know, the underworld and stuff like that, but in a whole open city. It looks very alive. The graphics look absolutely stunning. And again, it's made by that Ryugakuta studio, and the fighting in the game looks phenomenal. Yeah, I really like the look of this game, like the weather effects with the rain, the lighting in the streets. Just it just looks very alive with all the people walking around, etc. Yeah, even some type of boss battles looks like to be happening in this as well. So really excited for this one, and I can't wait to see more. It's called Project Century, and as I say, there's no release date for this, but wow, looks absolutely amazing. There is also another game coming out, which I think that people like Peebs would really enjoy. It's a football game called Rematch, coming out next year on all platforms, but it's done slightly different. So it's got like some kind of funky art style to it, but it's all in like indoor football stadiums. And whenever you score a goal, like the outside world kind of changes. It's really, really cool. And also what I like, because it's the indoor football, you can bounce a ball against the walls to do passes and score goals, etc. as well. So definitely one for football fans to check out, just for something a little bit different. It looks really, really fun actually. So check that out. Rematch coming out next year. Might even be one that I'll be having a look at, because it reminds me a little bit of Rocket League, but actually just, actual football. So I know I've missed a few games out, but I think that's about all I'm going to say while I'm on holiday. Probably talk about this again in January, just some of the highlights with the guys from the podcast crew. Hope the audio isn't too terrible. I'm literally just recording on my phone. So nice to talk to you all, and I hope you're all having a lovely time. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we will be back in January. Ta-ta for now.